Hey everyone, Lauren here. So, I don't know if you guys read the news today or heard that students at Santa Monica College were pepper sprayed because they were protesting a tuition fee hike that was happening at a board meeting. And the students were pepper sprayed. I forget the number of students that there were, but they were inside a hallway trying to get into the room where the meeting was being held, and students were pepper sprayed while they were in the building. And so I was looking at the tuition fee hikes that were happening at Santa Monica College, and they were pretty impressive hikes, a big difference. And so I'm really pissed about this. Okay, I've been a student now for 6 years. I have been involved with the school system for a long time now, and I've been seeing this happen ever since I entered high school in 2007 and hearing about it before that, about fee increases, faculty cuts. There was a year where there were furloughs. There was a year, and I think this year now they're not, universities here in California aren't accepting students in the spring semester. So there's just been all these changes happening over the last 6 years. Ultimately, the students getting the, bad end of the stick, having to pay for tuition fees, increase in fees, yet they're still receiving the same education, if not poorer education, than students were 10 years ago or whatever, because faculty have been cut. So classes are becoming larger. There's less faculty to meet with students, and it's just becoming an issue. So classes are being offered every other semester now. So it's basically forcing students, me for example, to stay in school longer because classes are being offered every other semester. So, I mean, I'm really upset about this. I'm really upset to see what's going on in the school system, and ultimately, I feel that education obviously has its place, particularly, yes, I will say in science. I think that is definitely where students need direction and help. So I really feel for the science community with all this happening. Now you can get upset with my biased views, but that's how I feel. And so ultimately I mean, I feel like I want to protest, but I think I don't really want to cause the system to change to what I want. I want basically to tell people don't go to school, okay? We need to change our way of thinking, and we can see this happening now. We need to change our idea of education. Now, everyone right now is thinking about public education as going to a community college, going to a public school, going to a university, paying so much money to go to school to learn and get a degree. So right now I am seeing that there's a lot of free online education happening when you go to websites like the Khan Academy. I heard that MIT is going to be offering some kind of free education where students can actually be certified online. Granted, it's not the same as or has the same backing as a university degree, but it's getting up there. So that is my idea of protesting, is just to encourage people to partake in online education. Just don't think that you need to be in a classroom in order to learn. You can learn online. If you go on YouTube and search videos in calculus, search videos in chemistry, or whatever subject you want, you are more than likely going to find a video on that subject, that particular maybe section of a chapter. You might find several videos that are teaching the same subject or the same concept. And so we can learn online. We don't need to be in a classroom. And I think that's what people need to acknowledge, is that you don't need to be in school. We've been fed ever since I was a kid, that I need to go to college. So here I am. And now I'm noticing that with the internet, I don't need to be here. I mean, I can be learning online, and I am really supportive of free online education. Now, I know it's not going to be the same as going to an actual university. For example, attending labs in chemistry, that's something that's going to have to be dealt with. But that is my way of thinking, is just start to acknowledge and tell your children you don't need to go to college. Schools are going to tell them that. Schools are going to say, go to college. But what are we seeing now? We're seeing consequences because of financial changes happening where students are having to pay more for the same type of education. And honestly, I kind of think that this is an awakening in a sense because I honestly do agree somewhat with, the skeptics of the education system who say, well, students are just being fed, what the system wants them to know, what the government wants them to know. They're going to college, they're being taught what? Nothing. They're becoming slaves basically to the system. Sure, they're educated in whatever topic they choose, but ultimately they are just getting out of school and going to work to pay back their financial aid. That's a form of slavery in a sense. I mean, we're basically having to pay back for our education. So I feel that this is an awakening that we're starting to understand or see, hey, this system that's been in place now for however long is no longer working. Students are not able to cope with these changes, and we don't, we don't we don't need to be on our knees to the public education system. We need to take control of this and say, hey, you're going to be doing this to us, you're going to be giving us these fee hikes and ridiculousness, then we don't need you. We don't need to go to school, okay? Now, deal with it. So you say, "Oh, I'm not going to get a degree I because I don't have certification in something, or you're not going to get a job or whatever." We need to change that way of thinking and say, hey, you can make an income somehow. First of all, we need to adjust our way of living. We need to look into alternatives, okay? Multi level marketing, maybe? Something has to be out there other than this because this is going nuts, okay? The school system is falling apart and I just don't want to be involved with it anymore. And I'm sad because I only have 2 years to go. I feel I'm so close, and I want to finish what I started. And so much money has been invested in my education already. I want to finish. Okay,